Welcome to Cruise Kibitz, where we give you all the advice that you didn't ask for.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cruise Kibitz. My name is Charvon, and I am from Parker's on the Go.
My name is Keke, and I'm from Team Reese Travels.
And I am Cheryl, also known as Sig Cruiser.
And together we make Cruise Kibitz. So today we have an amazing episode for you guys. We are actually going to be talking about our favorite cruise ports. But before we get to that, we have some questions from one of you guys. So Keke, would you like to read the question?
Sure, I will. So these questions are from W. Fisher. And the first question says, would you go back on a Royal Caribbean cruise? The second question says, would you do an Alaskan cruise? And her last question is, which ship do you think is best for children? So, who wants to go first? Who wants to answer those questions?
Well, I would definitely go back on a Royal Caribbean cruise every time, all the time, even after the one I just came from. Definitely Alaska. Alaska is on the bucket list. And I think a cruise that is best for kids is, I don't know, because we don't really have young children, like I said, and we just took a cruise with our 16-year-old. She made the best time out of wherever she was. And matter of fact, she probably spent more time out and about on the ship more than I did. So I think it's just depending on your family's preference on what is good for children. So that's my 2 cents. How about you, Sig?
Would I go back on another Royal Caribbean? I would tell you, so my first Royal Caribbean cruise, I really didn't care for. I'm sorry.
Oh,
no. But since that was 2001, I think I'm ready to give it another try.
Okay, you gotta wait a long time to get back on Sig's good list. Did you say 2001?
We said 2001.
2001.
It's 2022, Sig.
Wait, I'm ready to start thinking about it. At least.
Oh my goodness, we got to get Sig back on a Royal Caribbean ship.
I'm pretty sure it's not the same as it was years ago. I ain't gonna say, I'm gonna let people do their own math, but
I was on Majesty of the Seas, and in 2001 it just didn't do it for me. So it's been a while. So
yeah,
so I'm ready to test the waters again. So I'll give them another shot one day.
Wait, you got to answer the other 2 questions though.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the other 2, one was about the kids, right?
Would you do an Alaskan cruise, and what ship do you think is best for kids?
Okay, so would I do an Alaskan cruise? Yes, and I do want to do one day, even though still I know everybody says it's not that cold and everything, but see, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, so and I am not looking forward to anything below 70 degrees. I'm just not crazy about, but I do want to see Alaska. So I probably will do it one day. It's going to be a couple of years off at least. And then the kids, what the kids like? What was the question? Kids
what do you think is the best ship for kids?
The best ship for kids is hard for me to say because I'm still waiting for my kids to be born. I haven't,
I can't deal with you.
I just knew Sig was gonna say the best ship for kids is the one I'm not on. Like that's what I was
thinking. Okay, let's edit this. Okay. Honestly, I would say, of course, well, I've only been on Carnival really, other than the first Royal Caribbean cruise. And I know that, kids have a lot of fun on Carnival from what I see and what I hear. But I know other ships have, kids clubs too. So I really can't answer this question.
Well, I'll try to answer that. But first, I would definitely go back on Royal. I would definitely do an Alaska cruise. It's cold here where I live enough, so it ain't something that I've always wanted to do, but the scenery looks amazing when I see other people's Alaska pictures and videos and stuff. And then as far as the best ship for kids, so I would say overall of the ships that I've been on, the best overall kid experience would be Disney, because you just get the magic all the time between the
Right.
kids club and the dinners and the shows. Like, it's just an overall good experience for adults and kids, really. But honestly, RJ seemed to enjoy the kids club on Royal better than Carnival and Disney.
Ah.
So I mean, when you think about just the kids club, I think he enjoyed that one better. But overall, Disney, I think, is the best experience
Now,
for a
is
child,
there?
especially young kids.
Do you know if there's a particular reason why he likes it better?
He really liked that they had more video game options. He's a video game kid, and so they had a lot of big screen TVs with video game
Yeah.
systems set up to them. Disney had a few, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a lot on Royal, and I feel like Royal's room, like the ages were
Yeah.
better fit for kids too. I feel like when we went on Disney, the age was like 5 to 9 or 5 to 10 or something. It was a big age gap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we were on Royal, his room was like 6 to 8 year olds. So everybody is kind of around the
Yeah.
same age in the room,
Right.
versus
Right.
somebody that's 5 year old potentially being in a room with, an 8 or 9 year old. So
Right.
it's a whole different experience. They like different things at those different ages. So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that was an amazing set of questions, and I feel like those questions individually will make an amazing podcast. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
You got a little snippet. And we appreciate you sending in those questions. The other thing that we wanted to say is that we want to thank each and every one of you who has sent us your appreciation for us actually putting our full episodes now on YouTube. Special thank you to people who have been supportive to us, not only on YouTube, but on Instagram, everywhere that Team Reach Travel, Sid Cruiser, and Parkers on the Go can be found. Keisha H, Miss Carla Jackson, and Sydney Stevens. You guys are amazing, and we just want to shout you out and let you know we appreciate you. You have been the most amazing supporters, and you are keeping Cruise Kibitz going. So if you guys would please continue to support us, not only on YouTube, but also listen to the podcast, because that does help us out. Listen to it in your car on the way to work. You don't have to watch. You can actually hear us as well. So now you have options, and we're going to continue to bring it to you on YouTube as well and help grow the channel. So thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Now on to the nitty gritty. Let's get to it. So today we are talking about our favorite cruise ports. And I know with all the cruise lines out there, and I think the combination between the three of us, we've sailed at least five different cruise lines or been to different cruise ports, enough to have this conversation. Where do you ladies feel like you have been that has just been an amazing cruise port, and you would probably, I would say, do it almost every time you cruise? Do you have one like that, Keke?
I do. My one that is always amazing to me is Cozumel. I always feel like there's so many different things you can do at Cozumel. There's private beach excursions. There's, you can go on tours where you just get to see the city. You can do, you can do your own thing, walk around the port. There's just so many options there. I feel like that's the one that I've been to that has the most options. And I feel like I could go there over and over and never feel like I need to stay on the ship. Like, I could always find something to do there and some good food too. I like to eat.
Yes, I understand that 100%. And a good margarita at that. So yes. How about you, Cheryl?
I would have to say probably Puerto Rico, because I've been there a couple of times already, and actually, I don't think I've ever taken an excursion in Puerto Rico. Well, if you call this an excursion, the walking tour. The first time I went there, I did the walking tour, and I enjoyed that. Just walking up to the fort and just getting a history lesson of everything, in the area. And the next couple of times, I just walked around the port area, walked around, Old San Juan, and that's something I just never get tired of. And then I still don't think that I've seen all that I can see in Old San Juan, or experience all that I can experience, especially with the food. I love to, especially to go to places where I can eat the food and not have to worry a lot, or I have a lot of options to choose from,
Mhm.
having, being gluten intolerant. So that's one of the areas that I can. So I really love San Juan. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think for me, I would have the same answer, San Juan. When we went, we did a tour called the Evening Drive Tour, and we basically just took a bus around Old San Juan and looked at some of the historic sites, which that's stuff that we like to do anyway, and just kind of get a feel for the city. But also, like you said, it's very walkable. There's all these amazing places to eat and sit down and have conversation, and just the lights at night, they are beautiful, they are gorgeous. And I mean, you can walk down any street and you can see your ship from like down, blocks and blocks away. And I just think it was an absolutely beautiful port.
mhm.
And I wish we could go more. We just didn't have enough time there for me. It's probably one of those ports I wish that you can spend overnight in, because sometimes
That would be nice.
depending on the cruise line, you can spend the night in the port and then maybe 2 days and then leave. So
Mhm.
if I ever run across one of those, I'm definitely doing that.
Oh
um,
goodness. So
yeah.
here's what's funny. I actually have Puerto Rico written down as my favorite one. The
Really?
only reason I didn't say that is because you asked like what's one that you feel like you could go back over and over and do a lot of different things. When I go
Oh,
to Puerto Rico, I don't want to go to a beach at all. I want to
yeah,
just enjoy the culture in Puerto Rico. There's
yes.
something so rich about just walking around San
Hmm.
Juan, and like I have no desire to go just relax in Puerto Rico. I
Yeah.
want to see everything in Puerto Rico. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason I didn't say it. So it's funny because we
Yeah.
all had that answer down.
Yeah, I mean it's so true, and like you said, it's so rich in culture. Just
Hmm.
being there and just enjoying it, and I mean, it's almost like you never have enough time. And like I said, we could definitely make this one a podcast, another podcast. Just thinking, if we had to take a cruise and go back and visit it off a ship and stay there for an extended amount of time, would that be a port that you want to go to? So that's a whole nother podcast. We'll save that one for you
Yeah.
guys. We'll save that one for you guys. But would you find Puerto Rico for yourselves? Would you do that for yourselves as well? Well, Cheryl, you've done it as a solo cruiser.
Yes.
But Keke, would you find it that you could bring RJ, or would it be a family friendly port that you would go to and make it your favorite?
I don't feel like it would be a good port for
Mhm.
RJ. I don't remember there being a lot of things there that I could do with him that he would enjoy. I
Mhm.
enjoy like I said, I like to see the culture. I like to go around and look at all the different buildings. I think the architecture there is gorgeous. I think
Yeah.
the everything surrounding the area is just gorgeous. But an 8-year-old isn't going to appreciate the
Right.
beauty in the city. He'll say, "Oh yeah, this is a nice city. Where's the beach?" Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do that in Puerto Rico. So no, it's not one. It's probably one, and I've never done this before, but it's probably one that I would leave him on the ship in the kids club and just go explore as with Ray as an
Yeah.
adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I feel like it's more of a like solo cruiser or a couples, port where you can go and just find a place to have a romantic dinner and watch the sun go
Mhm.
down and stuff like that. I feel like it's more of one of those types of port. I don't, like you said, I don't feel like kids would be old enough to kind of take advantage of what they're taking in.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
did go there in 2019, I think, when I took a cruise with my mother, and one of the ports was San Juan, and she enjoyed it as well. And we didn't do an excursion; we just kind of walked around the area. And of course, there's a lot of shopping
hmm
in the area. Now, I'm not a shopper; I don't like shopping, but she does. So,
yeah, yeah.
so I know she thoroughly enjoyed it too. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as far as a port that you would think would be more family friendly, would you still stick with Cozumel as your answer?
Yeah, definitely. Cozumel is very family friendly. There's plenty of things and what I really like about Cozumel from the family friendly aspect is there's a lot of excursions that kids can do, and they're not all just beach excursions. They
Right.
have like the twister ride and like all different kinds of things. Parasailing kids can do down to a certain age, things like that that we could do with RJ that aren't just going and laying on the beach. So lots of stuff to do.
And I
Yeah.
would say Cozumel would probably be a good second for me because I mean I love going there every time, and I have done beaches. I've done Mr. Sancho's, and was it what's the other Coco?
Paradise.
No, I Coco something.
Oh no.
Nachi Kokum or
Oh yeah, yeah.
Kokum or something like that. I've done that one. So probably if I go again, I'll probably try Paradise Beach. So I just want to try them all. But even I've gone and just stayed in the port area and had a good time. So yeah, I love that port as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will honestly say, I felt that way until I cruised with Shay. And
Really?
I'm just gonna give it to you. No sugar. She got propositioned so much for a 90-day
No.
I remember that. Okay.
and it kind of bothered me to the point of like, and I get it. She's 16, but at the same time, she's still not an adult. So it kind of did. We've gone plenty of times, but we've never gone with her. And being that Brandon wasn't with us at the time that we went, it actually happened in Costa Maya as well. So that part, I would say, I mean, yes, it's family friendly, but also I would say if you have older children, just kind of be careful because regardless of the fact, things still happen.
Right.
I still like it, but I don't know if I like it with her in tow.
Lord, you got to leave Shay on the ship too.
I gotta leave her on the ship, girl. I gotta leave her on the ship because at one point I was like, okay, sir.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah. And it kind of does bring back the reality of, there are different cultures where you go and you are going to run into different things and you still got to kind of keep your eye out. Because even though you're on vacation, you still have to keep your eye out for your surroundings and what's going on.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was definitely an eye-opening experience because when I'm there, I'm on vacation mode and I just never thought past that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of made it different for me. Yeah. It was a different experience.
That would change things for me too.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That would be troubling.
Yeah. So I know we're talking about favorites, but since we're going, best, middle, and last, we got to talk about ones we just wouldn't do again.
Oh, I was gonna say don't do it.
We have to talk about it.
Because I wonder if we're all gonna say the same thing. But okay.
Well, now you make me want to ask you to go first, but I'll let Keke go first.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I've been to a port that I wouldn't go back to. I've enjoyed them all. Even like Nassau, as much as people say I'm staying on the ship in Nassau, I find stuff to do in Nassau. I wouldn't say it's my favorite place.
Right.
I guess if I had to rank my least favorite, it probably would be Nassau, but even with that, I still enjoy myself there.
Yeah.
I would think, I'm not going to say people, but I think Nassau might come to mind only because all of us have probably been there dozens, hundreds, thousands of times.
Yes.
So because you got to think probably the first 2 or 3 times, we didn't think of it as a bad port stop, but it's like after it's like almost every ship goes there, So I think that might be part of it, but yeah, that's not the one that I was going to name, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Now I almost want to say mine to see if you're going to say the same.
Yes. Let's see.
I feel like unpopular opinion, Bimini for me. And the reason why is because unless you're going to do a private island, there's not a lot to do. There's a free beach at one end, and then you got to go through the town, which is fine, all the way to the other end where people really don't know about. But it's a very rocky area, so it's not as user friendly unless you swim. or you buy a private excursion. There's really not a lot unless you go to the casino. I mean, you go to the casino or rent a golf cart or swim. It's really not a lot of options. And that's just my opinion.
Okay.
All right.
You know, once you said that, I thought about it, and I do have one. So now I'm curious. I was so bad I forgot about it. But you go, Sig. I want to hear yours.
Mine is Freeport.
Ooh, see, yeah. Can I change my answer?
I had a feeling. I said they probably forgot all about that.
See, and that's how bad it was. We wiped it from our memory.
I've never been to Freeport.
You ain't missing nothing.
I was like, never again. And so if I do that on the itinerary, unless it's a 7-day cruise with a lot of other ports, I'm avoiding Freeport. So.
No.
Cheryl said she ain't even picking a cruise with Freeport.
Well, we got, and you know what? And I think I really did just wipe it, because I just remember we've been twice, and one was when we first started cruising. We didn't even leave the port. We just stayed in the shopping area, and we sat at the Three Amigos and drank, and then we got back on the ship. And then when we went this last time back in May, we got off the ship. We didn't go to the shopping areas because we did that last time, but we went to the free beach that wasn't free.
What?
Yes, they took you to a free beach and dropped you off, and everybody asked for the free beach. And they were like, there's one cab that'll take you shopping, there's another one that'll take you to the free beach. And we all get on the free beach, and we get to the free beach, and you had to pay to get in.
Ooh, the lies they tell. I know they got me shamed.
Yeah. So that one, and that was on the Magic Cruise. You already know what happened on that one. So that was just like, yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder.
So my least favorite is Foulmouth, Jamaica. We got off in Foulmouth and we just walked around the port, and first of all, we had RJ on that cruise, and there was nothing we could do with him. Like nothing. All of the excursions were 8 and up. Except they might have had one or two beach ones, but we had done beach excursions on all the other ports, so we didn't want to do that again. So there was nothing we could do with RJ, so we just decided to walk around the port. I felt like the people were not really friendly to us when we were walking around the port. Even as far as shopping and stuff, we didn't buy anything because we felt like people were rude and we didn't want to spend our money with them. Mm-hmm. So it was not a good experience at that port. So I would like to give it a try again, but now that RJ is a little bit older, I think he'll have some options. I want to do, what's the one, activity that you can do in Jamaica, where you climb up the rocks and the waterfalls and all of that stuff. I can't think of what it's called.
No, it's not Foul. I'm thinking about the island, but I know it's the waterfall, Dunn's River Fall.
Yes, I want to do Dunn's River Fall. RJ was too small for that then, so I want to go back and do something like that where we can be active and try to see if I have a better experience. But walking around that port at Foulmouth wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're not the first person I heard to say that. I've never been to Jamaica, but you're definitely not the first person I've heard say that about Jamaica.
I've only gone to Ocho Rios. I haven't been to Foulmouth. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
I forgot. I guess I erased it from my brain just like you erased it.
Right. And that's weird that we all had that moment, but it wasn't for the same reason.
Yes.
All right. So we are going to wrap up the episode, but before we do, I just want to ask, before we go, what is the one port that you have not visited and that is on your bucket list?
Oh. Can I have two?
I need to. Have two.
All right. So Bonaire.
Yes.
Because I did Aruba and Curacao, and I felt like I wasn't complete without doing Bonaire.
Wait a minute, they skipped Bonaire?
Yeah, we didn't do Bonaire. It wasn't on our itinerary. We had Curacao and Haiti, but we didn't have Bonaire on there.
Wow.
But so Bonaire and Coco Key. Those are my two that I got to do.
Okay. What about you, Cheryl?
All of the Saints and Bonaire.
Okay.
I've been a Saint, and A long time ago, I was supposed to go to St. Thomas, and then they had the hurricane. So this was a few years ago, probably 2018. And then so that port got wiped out of our itinerary, and it took them a long time to build back up and everything. So yeah, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, St. Martin's, all of them, and Bonaire.
Okay.
Yeah. So that I would say the same thing. The Saints, I've never been to any of the Saints, and Aruba, I've never done Aruba. So those are my same. Yeah. So I think we're all trying to get on that same ship that takes us to the same set of islands.
Yeah, we need that one to hit all 14 spots.
Yes, all of them at the same time.
Like yet another Kibitz cruise that we.
There you go. I mean, we just keep lining them up.
We can pick some people up at every island. Why not?
Okay. Yes. Well, we want to thank you guys for tuning into this very special episode. We appreciate all your support. And Keke, you want to tell them where they can find us next time they want to listen to some cruise Kibitz?
Of course. So, of course, you guys know you can find us on YouTube. Full episodes available on YouTube now. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Pandora, all of them. We're there. And you can also reach us on Instagram. So you might not be able to listen to a full podcast on Instagram, but that's where you can send us messages, reviews, questions that you have. You can send those to our direct message on Instagram or any of our individual DMs on Instagram as well. So that's Team Reach Travels, Sig Cruiser, or Parkers on the Go.
So many options.
So many options. No excuses not to contact us.
Can't say we don't give y'all choices now.
And you didn't even ask for them. We still gave them to you.
Listen, we live by our tagline, okay?
Absolutely. And Sig, what we're going to do to wrap it up?
I think we're going to call this one a podcast.
All right. We're going to call it a podcast. Thank you, guys. And you have a great day. Happy cruising.
Happy cruising.
Happy cruising.